Profit and loss is not a common term for individuals, but it is definitely a very common term for businesses, for small businesses. And the way I look at it, and the reason I chose to talk about it, is because when we really think about it, when we really look at it as individuals, we should be treating ourselves as a business. I really truly believe in the very near future, one way or another, we're all going to be a business. We're going to be in business for ourselves. A lot of us are. So we might as well start learning the terminology of what a profit and loss is. And again, even though you don't have a business today, or you will not plan on having a business tomorrow, profit and loss really applies to all of us, including individuals. So I'm going to stick to that term of individuals, but small business owners, if you're listening, it is so important for us to understand what this P&L is. P&L, profit and loss. It pretty much tells us. It tells us how much money we're bringing in, how much money we are spending, and how much money we have made or we have lost. That is what a profit and loss is. Why is it important as an individual to know this? It's exactly what I've been coaching you about, making sure you have your bank account that receives only the income, and that you have your main account where it receives all of the expenses or the essentials, and then all the other miscellaneous accounts are for the expenses that you plan on having, but you're not going to take action until you actually have the money, so you don't ever have to borrow. The only time you ever have to borrow is if you get into investments, if you get into buying real estate, anything that has inflation or appreciation versus depreciation, right? So you want to make sure that you only get into debt when your items are going up in value. So aside of that, let's go back to the P&L as individuals, guys. So it's going to tell us how much money we have made. And P&Ls can be done, I can actually say, on a daily basis. We love to do them for our clients on a weekly basis. We have some clients that want them monthly, and that's totally fine. At the end of the year, your tax person is looking at a P&L and balance sheet with you at the end of the year to finalize your tax return. So it's so important that we get in the habit of understanding it, so when we do have to sit down with our accountant or tax preparer, we understand what a P&L is. Now, a profit and loss is definitely, it has two sections. It has your income section, it has your expense section, and then the difference between the two is the profit or the loss. A lot of people focus on the second section, which is the expenses. How do we cut expenses? Which is totally fine and fair. When we start looking at the top line, which is the above the line, the very first section, which is income, when we start looking at that and be focused more on that than the body of it, that's when we start moving in the direction of bringing more money in. And no matter what the expenses are, you're going to be in good shape. It is important, don't get me wrong, to definitely look at the expenses as well, so you can chip away and make sure that you cut, 5, 10, 15, 20 bucks here and there. But the biggest impact that your bottom line will have is the above the line section. If you have, as an individual, a 9-to-5 job and you are making $20,000, do you have the ability of increasing that above the line? Absolutely. 9 to 5 means you're working 8 hours. If you get a side gig or 2 or 3 side gigs, you're able to bring a lot more than 20 grand on that above the line area. Therefore, the expenses at the end of the day may not matter. Initially they will, until we build these good habits and we have our money working for us instead of us working for our money. The profit and loss is going to identify those sections for you. Now, if you get really, really good with both sections, now you're really, really in good shape. You're actually working on the above the line to bring more income to your household. At the same time, you're still chipping away 5, 10, 15, 20, 30 bucks off of every expense. Now you're doing a really good job. So this way, the bottom line, which is the profit or loss, the profit starts increasing because you're now looking at both sections and not just focused on one section at a time. So you will with practice, understand it a lot more once you start seeing it. But remember, profit and loss report doesn't necessarily mean you have to be a business to understand it. As an individual, we should be looking at those reports as well. But it's definitely a very, very good tool. So this way we're very aware of how our progress is going. In other conversations we're going to have at a later point, I'm going to teach you, for those people that are in debt, how important it is to definitely be working towards getting to this point of really breathing and feeling peaceful versus stressed out or depressed over your finances. So little by little, we're going to be working towards those. So I look forward to another conversation, guys. Profit and loss was topic for today. I hope that information helped. I hope it made sense. And if not, please engage with us. Send us some comments, send us some information. Questions are welcome. This way we can definitely improve the information that we are offering and giving you guys, so you guys can be aware of how to move forward in the right direction when it comes to your finances.